As we settle in, I invite you to keep your breath in mind throughout this meditation. Our breaths are always here for us. They began the moment we were born, and they will continue till the moment that we die. Our breath is our life support, and we often go throughout our days forgetting this and not noticing our breath. And yet it is a tool that we can use to focus on and to keep us present. So I invite you to just begin by taking 3 deep breaths with me. And we'll do those in through the nose and out through the mouth before we continue on with breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So 3 breaths with me, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, hold, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. And if you haven't already, I invite you to gently close your eyes, or if it's more comfortable, just bring a slight gaze to your eyes a little bit in front of you. Whatever is most relaxing in this moment. Now let's find ourselves grounded, and we can do that by feeling where it is that our body is engaged with whatever it is beneath us, whether we are sitting or standing. So just take a moment to feel your feet on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, feeling your bum on the chair or on your pillow if you're sitting on a cushion. If you're walking, feeling those steps, foot down, lifting, other foot down and lifting. Just beginning to bring ourselves a little bit down from our head, from our brain, from our mind, into our body. And the breath, again, allows us to do that quite easily. So where do you feel your breath right now? Just notice. Is it in your nostrils? Is it in the back of your throat? Is it in your chest, rising and falling? Or is it in your belly? You can take a moment and put your hand on your belly. And put your hand on your heart. As you settle into your breath. Not trying to breathe in any particular way, just as it is. And in our mindfulness practice, we can use some other things that no doubt will arise as you're sitting and focusing on your breath and feeling your breath in your body. We have these things called thoughts. And inevitably, over and over, they tend to pop up. And the idea in this practice is not to shun them away, because that can create even more discomfort than just noticing that they are arising. So we can simply note our thoughts, like a butterfly landing on a flower. You can note it, smile at the thought, whatever it is, nod, and slowly or quickly, these thoughts will fade away, not forced. And as such, as they rise and fall, we can return back to our breath. Our breath truly just being that home base for us as we sit, stand, walk in a meditation. So as you continue to breathe, notice again, as if for the very first time, with that beginner's mind, where in your body you're feeling your breath. And as a thought comes to mind, as they will do, welcome it, note it. You may note it simply as thinking, or you may get a little more specific and note it as remembering or planning. Two of the things that very often keep us out of this present moment. Remembering the past, ruminating on the future. Both things that do not exist. What does exist right now and now is you sitting wherever it is that you are. Feeling your body, breathing you. And as we continue on, you may have noticed additional sensations in the body that may first arise as a distraction. Right now, I feel a little bit of an itch behind my neck. It could be a foot falling asleep. It could be a pain in your lower back or your shoulder. And while we can see these things as a distraction, they can also become tools for mindfulness. And they can be these tools by us investigating them in this moment. As I bring my attention and my breath to that itch on the back of my neck, and I note whether it is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. It then begins to fade away. And I can thank it for being a tool of bringing me to presence right now. So I invite you for the next minute or two to breathe on your own. Welcome in any thoughts that might arrive. Greet them for what they are, with a bow or a smile. Notice any physical sensations, felt sensations in the body. Take a moment to note whether they're comfortable, uncomfortable, neutral. And this allows you to see them for what they truly are. I imagine you have been experiencing thoughts come and we merely greet them over and over and over. And this is our training. This is our mindfulness practice at the gym. And the more we train ourselves while we practice, the more we can acknowledge as we get caught up in thought circles outside of our practice. Another potential distraction, aka tool, mindfulness that we can use as we sit here today, is sounds. So we're aware of all of our different senses and where we are in space and time right here. And depending on where you are right now, you may hear traffic. You may hear kids making noises in the other room. You may hear planes flying or trains. You may hear a fly buzzing, a clock ticking. And while we can allow ourselves to become distracted by these sounds and perhaps even annoyed by them, if we can see them for what they are, just sound, not sound trying to annoy you. When we do that, we can, in fact, use them as tools in this practice. It could be even sounds of your stomach growling, like mine is right now, or the wind chimes outside, or a lawnmower. It is only our minds that attach the discomfort to these sounds. In and of itself, the clock is not ticking to distract your practice. It is I who attach that annoyance. And so we acknowledge the sound. We welcome the sound. And we return back to our breath, to our home. And I invite you again to bring that beginner's mind to your body, wherever it is that you're feeling your breath. Perhaps it's at the tip of your nose and your nostrils. Perhaps it's down on your belly. And feel that breath in and out as though you're feeling them for the very first time. And as we continue the meditation, we're continuing to let our breath, let our body breathe us, trusting that it will be there for us as long as we are alive. And then we can take a moment to bring our attention to our heart. Our heart can be our lungs, our breath's partner in crime. And allow yourself to feel whatever it is that your heart is feeling right now. It may be joy. It may be light. It may be sadness. It may be heavy. You may be feeling kindness. We may be feeling compassion for another. We may be feeling compassion for ourselves. What does it feel like in your body to sit in a place of heart? Just as it is right now. And right now. Just like oceans, waves in the oceans, our heart beats rise and fall, ever changing, never permanent. Our emotions too, rising and falling. And when we can bring that mindfulness to our felt sensations, to our emotions, to our heart, to our mind, we can merely acknowledge that what is. Joy is like this. Sadness is like this. Loving kindness is like this. And so, wherever you are at the moment, lost in thought, lost in hearing, lost in feeling, I invite you to come back, feel where it is that you are touching the earth, whether that is your feet on the ground, your bottom in a chair. Feel wherever it is that your hands are sitting. Perhaps take a moment and bring your hand to your heart. As you acknowledge this time that you have taken today, that you have created today, that you had offered to yourself today to practice mindfulness, practice being in your presence so that you can hold mindfulness in mind as your day continues. And if you haven't already, I invite you to open your eyes, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, stretch around a little bit. Even if you're not feeling like it, give yourself a smile and a bow to yourself, as I believe this is the most important thing you can do with your day, is to give yourself time and space to practice presence and be in your own grace. So thank you again for joining me today. My name is Kenna Klosterman. I'm based on Whidbey Island in the beautiful Pacific Northwest in Washington State. And you can follow me here on Insight Timer. You can find at any point any of my on-demand guided meditations, whether that is for gratitude, body scan, whether that's for chronic pain or just relaxation. There's a 20-minute and a 30-minute general mindfulness core practice, 90 seconds for taking deep breaths. So feel free to check those out. And when you do follow me, if you check your notifications on Insight Timer, you will also see the upcoming live gatherings that I have here on a weekly basis. So thank you again for joining, for tuning in. And I wish you a mindful rest of your day. Thank you.